Hello and welcome to the Cristo Rey Network Virtual College Fair. We are so excited to have you participating in this event today. We have some fantastic schools here with us. Each of them will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but they're going to be here for the entire session to answer your questions. I'm Jennifer, and I'm going to be your facilitator. We're going to have a really fun time together. Before we get started, I do have a few more housekeeping items for you. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button, though, on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. You can leave a question for any and all of our representatives to answer, or you can direct your question to a specific school by including the school's name with your question. That way, the representative will know you're hoping to hear from them. This is just one of many different sessions that are happening for the Cristo Rey Network, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website and sign up for additional events that are taking place. This presentation and all presentations are being recorded. They'll be available in the coming days at that same website where you registered, stryscan.com/Cristo-Rey. All right, well, I am really excited to turn it over to our first school. We are going to be hearing from Duke University.
Good evening, and thank you for joining me as I introduce you to Duke University. My name is Jessica Smith, and I use she, her pronouns. I'm a senior admissions officer and international specialist in the undergraduate admissions office. This is my 21st year in the admissions office, so Duke is a really special place to me, and I'm excited to share more information about it with you today. A beautiful residential campus located about 20 minutes from an international airport, Duke offers a safe environment, a mild climate, and lots of space, almost 9,000 acres. Most of the land Duke is in a research forest on one side of our campus, so the academic and residential parts of campus remain concentrated and easily walkable. But even these generous campus boundaries do not fully contain all of Duke's opportunities. We also have a marine lab on the coast of North Carolina, semester-long programs in U.S. cities like Chicago, D.C., L.A., New York, hundreds of study abroad opportunities, and an entire university we co-founded in China, Duke Kunshan University. Just blocks away from campus is the center of Durham, North Carolina, a city with about 300,000 residents, complete with a lively arts and restaurant culture as part of an area known as the Research Triangle. The research is known as the International Hub for research, innovation, and technology. Recently, tech firms such as Google and Apple have committed to building new facilities in the region. These resources account in part for the fact that 90% of Duke students have at least one internship by the time they graduate. Durham is considered one of the smartest cities, one of the best places to live, and one of the foodiest towns in the United States. Durham is a vibrant, warm, growing area in the country by the American Growth Project. It is the fastest growing area, and not only are the new people coming here, but many students fall in love with the area and never leave. Duke curriculum is unusually flexible, as over 80% of Duke students complete more than one major, pursuing studies within or across the 2 undergraduate divisions, either in the Trinity College of Arts and Sciences or the Pratt School of Engineering. For example, a student could double major in mechanical engineering and visual arts and complete a certificate in innovation and entrepreneurship. This flexibility in learning is essential to the liberal arts curriculum in our Trinity College of Arts and Sciences, which is about 85% of our programs here at Duke. There isn't a core curriculum in Trinity. In fact, there is only one class that all Duke students need to take, which is Writing 101. And even there are 30 different Writing 101 courses for students to choose from that cover all sorts of different topics. Our Pratt School of Engineering offers students the same liberal arts education with a hands-on curriculum. Pratt students choose among 5 majors: biomedical, mechanical, civil, environmental, and electrical, not to be confused with computer science, which is actually housed in Trinity. Pratt students can also double major, get a minor, or pursue a certificate in both the Pratt and Trinity schools. Just like with Trinity, flexibility is built into Pratt's curriculum. Our engineering students study abroad at 10 times the national average, and 85% of them will also have more than one major. The ultimate example of flexibility is Program 2, which allows Duke students to design their own course of study, such as social justice, European intellectual history, biolinguistics, or whatever the intersection of your multiple interests might be. With a student-faculty ratio of 8-to-1, 70% of Duke's classes have fewer than 19 students. Students work closely with their professors, whether it be through our lunch program, where students can invite any faculty member to lunch on Duke's time to discuss a current class, possible research opportunities, or just find out more about the professor's personal journey, or the Focus Program, an interdisciplinary first-year seminar series that offers weekly dinners with faculty and provides a model for collaboration. Research across all disciplines is a vital part of the Duke experience and is another area in which students and professors work together. Duke's annual research expenditures in recent years is $1.2 billion, and research funding is available to students starting in their first year. A perfect example of some really engaging research is of this cute little animal here in the top slide. If you haven't heard already, here at Duke, we have our very own lemur center, housing the largest collection of lemurs outside of their native home in Madagascar. As lemurs are among the most endangered species, students are able to observe and study lemur behavior. Another unique opportunity, Another research opportunity on campus is called Bath Connections. This program bridges the classroom and the real world, giving students a chance to roll up their sleeves and tackle complex societal problems alongside faculty, postdoc students, graduate students, and other staff. Duke students and faculty also work together beyond campus. In the middle of this slide, you'll see Duke Engineers for International Development in Bolivia. Another example of Duke's global focus and civic engagement is also Duke Engage, a fully funded immersive service learning program in both international and domestic locations. About 25% of Duke students participate in Duke Engage, and about 50% of our students study abroad. Duke students also have active lives on campus outside of their academic pursuits, with more than 500 clubs and organizations, and with about 85% of undergraduates living on campus. Life here is typically busy and exciting.
Hey, Jessica, we have reached the end of the 6 minutes. I know it flies by.
It does.
So thank you for sharing about Duke. And to make sure that you and all of our other representatives can share contact information in a lot of different ways, all of our representatives can put it in the chat and send it out to all of our attendees. So Jessica, I hope you'll do that so that they can follow up and learn even more about Duke after today.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we are moving on to school number 2. Presenting second today, we have Washington and Lee University.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch us present. I know this is a great opportunity and way to share more about our schools in a fairly succinct way. I know I also struggle with my timing, so I'm going to set my 6 minutes. My name is Emma Swab. I am an assistant director of admission at Washington and Lee University. I'm also an alum, so I graduated in 2016, and I've been working in admission since 2019. And today I'm going to go through a couple slides here, some beautiful photos of campus to share a little bit more about opportunities at Washington and Lee, a little bit of background about our size, student body, all the rest. So one thing that we always like to do is kind of frame where we are, right? So we are in the heart of the Shenandoah Valley. So we are in the Blue Ridge Mountains in Lexington, Virginia. We like to make this Goldilocks jokes about not too hot, not too cold. I don't know if that trend is keeping with global warming and kind of weather patterns, but we are right in the center of the US on the East Coast, and we get all 4 seasons. So our students really appreciate that. I know I do, being from Lake Erie, where we get a disproportionate amount of snow. Again, you can see in this panoramic photo of campus, our campus has so much green space. Students absolutely love to get outside. There are some incredible opportunities for exploration outdoors in and around Lexington. And one of our most popular student organizations is our outing club. One feature of Washington and Lee that we always like to highlight as well is the fact that we are a residential campus, right? So students are living on campus for 3 of their 4 years. We do guarantee housing for all 4 years. However, most students do choose to live off campus in their senior year. But especially those first 3 years when you are required to be living on campus, you're building that community both in your classrooms and outside of your classrooms. So your faculty members likely live in and around Lexington. You're able to go to athletic events after your classes are done. The ease with which you get back to campus, things are very proximal. So you're right near everything. And we're intending to build that community outside of just your classroom setting. One unique feature of WNL as well is our honor system. So that is a daily commitment that our students make to kind of uphold the system of honor and integrity. You can see the pledge right there, but essentially students commit to not lie, cheat, steal, or otherwise violate the community's trust. And another way that we build community, aside from that really big commitment that our students make, is through the speaking tradition. This is just a really friendly tradition that we have on campus where if you are walking by somebody on the street, if you're on campus, you look up from your phone, you say hello, you ask how they're doing, say good morning, even if it's just a nod or a wave. It's a real way of kind of building community around campus. And to get into kind of the nuts and bolts of our classes, WNL is a small school. So we have about 1,850 students. I think it's more like maybe 1,860, a little over that right now. And our students are from all over the country and from all over the world, as you can see. Our average class size is about 15 students, and you're really going to see that, right? So it's not just 15 for certain majors and minors and something else for different majors and minors. 96% of our classes have fewer than 25 students in them. So you really are getting that intimate coursework. You're getting to know your professor. You're getting to know your peers in those settings, kind of sitting around a table discussing. What our small size means is going to be access to faculty members, right? Getting to know professors. It's not uncommon for faculty members to ask students to babysit for them or to pet sit for them. It's going to mean access to a variety of opportunities. Our students are incredibly passionate. We ask them to bring those passions with them, right? We're a Division III school. We have a myriad of different arts programs, performing arts, music, and a couple of unique traditions as well, like our mock convention, which is pictured in the lower kind of center photo, as well as a Washington term opportunity where students do an internship in DC for 6 weeks and meet up as a class with the WNL professor for academic credit. It's also going to mean access to resources. WNL is a resource-intensive school where we fund opportunities for students, whether they be unpaid internships, research opportunities, study abroad opportunities, you name it. For some different program study highlights, WNL has a variety of different programs as well. We're fairly unique in the fact that for a small liberal arts school, we do have an accredited business program. That is very popular at WNL, as is our journalism program. And we also like to highlight here the number of programs in STEM and the depth of STEM we have at WNL. A lot of interdisciplinary work happening within the STEM fields and within the college generally. But certainly the fact that we have engineering and a variety of other different STEM fields is incredible for our size as well. And you can see a list of some of those really great interactive, interdisciplinary minor programs that we have as well. One unique thing about WNL also is our spring term. So we have a trimester system. Our semesters are broken into 3. So we have a fall term for 12 weeks, a winter term for 12 weeks, and then also a 4-week spring term where you take just one class. A lot of students will study abroad during that time, typically about 20 classes will go abroad in that spring term. So plenty of opportunities to study for a traditional full semester abroad or for kind of a shorter period of time through that spring term. You can see some of our outcomes for graduates, though that might seem far off. We are incredibly successful at placing folks in graduate programs and in jobs. And really our admissions policy and our kind of outlook is that our students are more than numbers. So it's very holistic in nature. You can kind of read a little bit more if you pause on the recording too of what we're looking at when we look at an application. We do accept applications from Coalition, QuestBridge, and Common App. And the 2 rounds we really have are going to be early decision, that binding commitment, and regular decision, that non-binding commitment. But we also do have merit-based aid and need-based aid that is very generous. We meet 100% of demonstrated family need without the use of loans. So that's an incredible policy we have to get the best students here, regardless of ability to pay. So that's just a little bit more about Washington and Lee. I will share my contact info as well. And thank you all so much again for your attention this evening.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Emma, for sharing Washington and Lee University. Our next school tonight will be the University of Notre Dame.
Sorry, I am muted. I would think I would know how to work Zoom after all of these years. So I apologize. My name is Dontavius Seaborn. I am the Senior Associate Director of Admissions at the University of Notre Dame. And I want to thank you guys for being here today. The University of Notre Dame is the preeminent Catholic university of the world, and we are a Research One university. And we are also an AAU university, where only 70 universities across the entire United States have that recognition. We are the preeminent Catholic university, and we were founded in 1842 by a French priest named Father Sorin, who wanted to educate not only the mind, but the body and the spirit. The University of Notre Dame is located 90 minutes outside of Chicago, Illinois. So if you do not know where we're located in South Bend, Indiana, or the Mishawaka, South Bend area, where we have over 250,000 residents. In the area where our national Division I championship teams play, where there's tons of arts and culture opportunities, and where there are several museums and several things for our students to do inside of the city of South Bend. This is what an average class looks like at the University of Notre Dame. This is exactly 2,060 students that we admit into every class. We have a very known brand and a very large brand, but we're also a small and individualized university. We have 8,900 undergraduate students, and we have over 80% of our students who stay on campus, and over 32 single-sex residential halls where students are randomly selected into a residential space where they have their own creed, their own colors, and their own mascots, which provides a sisterhood and brotherhood for all of our students and a platform for them to come into the university, meet someone new, gain those soft skills, but also matriculate over the next 4 years with that cohort of students who reside in their community. We are a university that meets 100% of demonstrated need, but we're also a university that gave out over $200 million in need-based funding last year. Affordability is something that is written in the mission of our university, and we want to make sure that every student who attends the University of Notre Dame are able to not only afford the University of Notre Dame, but have an experience that wraps around them and supports them in every endeavor of their life at our university and beyond. The School of Architecture at our university is a 5-year program that prepares our students for their licensure. Most 4-year programs are going to send students into the opportunity of going to graduate school, and they will have to additionally go and to sit for their licensure. But 5-year programs like ours actually are accredited and prepare our students to go into a pathway of working for an architecture firm. But our program is also 5 years where you will spend a year abroad in its entirety in Rome. Our College of Sciences is the undergraduate-only College of Sciences, where 80% of our students are going to matriculate directly into medicine school, and where over 75% of our students are going to do research over the course of the 4 years in this college. Our College of Engineering is home to innovation, and not only innovation, but an opportunity to have a liberal arts major infused with an IT opportunity technology-wise, where we have additive machinery, computer resources, 3D modeling, and an innovation hub where our students can perform individualized opportunities or project team opportunities with their collaborative partners or with their actual academic advisors. Our Mendoza College of Business has always been ranked amongst the top 10 colleges of business, and all of our specific programs are tailored to provide our students the opportunity to go into consulting, marketing, finance, business analytics, where we have students who are interested in working in ESPN and doing business and doing sports statistics right in Indianapolis, which is 2 hours and 30 minutes away from us, accountancy, and all of our business students will actually take a coding course to prepare them for work for business sectors in Google and even Apple. Our College of Arts and Letters is one of our most flexible colleges when it comes to curriculum. These students are going to have an opportunity, like all of our students are going to have an opportunity to do interdisciplinary learning, but to also try several different minors and prepare themselves to enter their career space also. Our Keough School of Global Affairs are students who are interested in going into social economic impact, environmental impact, and then last but not least, mental and societal impact. When we look at things like COVID, all of these things have been monitored, and all of these things have been very very great research opportunities for our students to monitor and learn more about how they can impact the world and how things impact the world day in and day out. With our one-of-a-kind students who enter our university, we have one-of-a-kind faculty. A lot of universities will not tell you that they have 90% of their faculty who are full-time and have terminal degrees. We have a 9-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio. Over 60% of our students will have classes that are fewer than 20. 73% of our students will have classes that are fewer than 30. And over 93% of our classes are fewer than 50 students. So we're very individualized and really hope that our students can go into classrooms that help them meet their faculty and be successful. 70% of our students are going to study abroad at the university, and we have over 60 international programs that are semester and year-long based programs. Return on investment is a key thing for our university. The average salary leaving our university is $76,000. I dare you to go home and ask your parents, what did they make in their first job out of college? Most of them are not going to say $76,000. So our students are not only entering the mainstream entry level of jobs, they're entering in managerial and supervisory roles. 90% of our students who are interested in law school are accepted into law school, and we have a 97% placement rate into all of our students' careers and callings. Our two application deadlines are November 1st, which is restricted early action. And the restricted piece of that is if you are applying to an early decision school, which is binding, we ask that you do not utilize this deadline because our deadline is a non-binding deadline. Regular decision is also our next deadline. And again, I think that is time. And I thank you for being with me today.
Thank you, Octavius. I know, 6 minutes. It just flies, but everyone does such a great job. Just a reminder to our attendees, if anyone has joined us since we started, welcome. We're glad you're here. We've had 3 great schools. We've got 3 more to go. Just a quick reminder about the Q&A box. That's how you can ask questions. So I really encourage you to think if there are a particular major or program or extracurricular activity you want to know about, utilize that Q&A. You can leave a question for all of our reps to answer, or you can direct it to a specific school by including the name of the school with your question. All right, as you can see, Loyola University, Maryland is ready to go, and up next, take it away.
Sorry about that, Jennifer. I didn't realize that I was going to get a special little intro.
That's okay, Michael. It's fine. Not a big deal.
My name is Michael Decker, and I am our West Coast Regional Representative for Loyola University, Maryland. So I'm based in San Diego, and I recruit all of our students from out west. When you see the word Loyola, I know, especially when I say I'm from San Diego, people will sometimes say there's one in Los Angeles or one in Chicago. There's actually one in New Orleans too. St. Ignatius of Loyola founded the Jesuits. So that's where that name Loyola comes from. We're all separate schools. There's actually 27 Jesuit institutions across the United States. 4 of us have chosen to keep his name. And the nice thing about our campus is how we teach. We're all the same in that way. Education of the whole person and persons for others. That building you saw on our first slide, we have a brand new Center for Education and Innovation. Our School of Education is housed in there. We are in the city of Baltimore, Maryland. We are 15 minutes from the Inner Harbor. This is the Inner Harbor. Students are actually doing internships. My business students will do internships at places like Under Armour, that is headquartered down here, the World Trade Center. Baltimore Ravens and Orioles play down here. We have students doing internships down there. But then we're also an hour from DC. So my political science students and my forensic students jump on the train and they do an internship in DC. We're 4 hours from New York. We're in a residential neighborhood, but we are in the city of Baltimore, which is pretty amazing too. When it comes to our campus, over 70% of our students come from outside of the state of Maryland. We have regional recruiters on the West Coast, in Florida, New Jersey, and Boston. So we really do encourage students to apply from all over the United States. But we have enough students on our campus. If you want to know where to get crab or the best crab cake, we can send you there, send you out with one of them. But we have enough students from outside of the state of Maryland where we have a lot of diversity. We have just under 4,000 undergraduates on our campus. And the really great thing is over 80% of our students live on campus all 4 years. Our residence halls are ranked in the top 20 in the United States. So when it comes to that traditional college campus, I giggle when I go back to campus. I'm always impressed on how many people are hanging out on the quad, just visiting hammocks, playing spike ball, those types of things. We have three schools and colleges on Loyola College of Arts and Sciences, our School of Education, and Selinger School of Business and Management. Our Loyola College of Arts and Sciences is our biggest college. With that, we have an engineering program, our biology pre-med, 83% of our students are getting in a med school. That's our 5-year average. National average is 38%. Over 90% of our students are getting in a law school. We have a creative writing program that is phenomenal. We're the only school in the United States that has a student-run publishing company. We do over 20 books a year. With our School of Education, like I mentioned, we have a brand new education facility, and 100% of our teachers have jobs before they graduate. With our Selinger School of Business and Management, those students, we have a brand new stock trade room where you have over $500,000 for you to play with in the stock market. We have a brand new data analytics lab, and the list goes on and on with our programs. You can definitely double major or major and minor. You do not have to decide right away. You can wait up to 2 years to declare a major. Typical students will ask me, what does it take to get in? Typically, it's a 3.68. You see our test scores there. We are test optional. We've been test optional for over 13 years, so it's not like COVID hit and we went test optional. You're eligible for the same exact scholarships if you submit test scores or if you do not submit test scores. Scholarships will typically range anywhere from $25,000 to $35,000 a year. I could talk to you about the application process for days and days. We're Common App apply. November 15th and January 15th are the two deadlines I want you to keep in mind. But the other thing that I think is great for our students is sometimes it's a change going from high school to college. So we have a program called the Messina program, and that program will assist you in adjusting to college. We also have programs for first generation students. We have programs in a mentorship program with faculty and with current students. You know, sometimes it's an adjustment. Maybe mom and dad didn't go to college and you have questions on how things work on a college campus. That's what they're there for, along with our academic advising team. So we have a great opportunity. A couple other things, if you have not seen the college tour on Amazon Prime, we've been highlighted on that. It's like diners, drive-ins, and dives, but for colleges, so you can learn little snippets. So that's great. And I would encourage you to come to our campus and see what we're all about. We do tours Monday through Friday and select Saturdays throughout campus. Thank you so much. My name is Michael Decker. I will drop my name and email into the chat when I am finished. And we look forward to having all of our Cristo Rey students here. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Wonderful. Thank you, Michael, for sharing Loyola University, Maryland. All right, we're moving on to our next school. We're going to be learning all about St. John Fisher University.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I should say we are a bit of a smaller scale operation than some of the larger schools that have spoken already. But if you do find yourself in the area of upstate New York in Rochester, that's where you can find us. And we also would love to host a visit. Anybody who's interested in taking a tour of the campus and getting to see it up close and Monday through Friday and Saturdays as well. I will do my best to keep this brief 6 minutes as focused as possible. So bear with me. To begin, these are some of the most recent additions to our campus. You may know, or if you follow professional sports, training camp of NFL teams can vary depending on where they're located year over year, whether they'd like to be close to their facility or go somewhere where it's a little more accommodating. For the last 20 plus years, the Buffalo Bills have chosen to have their professional training camp on our campus because we do such an excellent job housing the athletes and feeding them and letting them use the facilities. They've been impressed year over year and have chosen to come back to us because of how accommodating we are. And that is similarly what our students have reflected and will continue to experience for years to come. We've also ranked several years in a row, by the way, #1 best college food in New York State, and nationally recently have jumped up a rank from best college food, #6 overall in the country to #5, according to niche.com. Just one of the ways that shows that St. John Fisher is incredibly accommodating of the overall student experience beyond just the classroom. And these uh, buildings and additions you'll see here, as an institution that's only 75 years old, which is actually sort of on the younger side for a lot of colleges in the US. There's constantly additions and updates and upgrades being made throughout the campus. And these highlight just a few of those examples. If you were curious, we do have a smaller class size in scale, graduating class, and in your typical classroom space, what you would expect. If you are used to having a class size of about 25-ish students in the classroom, then that's what you would expect here. We have been bringing in at least 600 freshmen every year for the last several years. It is possible. I saw that some people were asking if it's possible to bring a vehicle with you for your first year. It is. It's nice to have the city of Rochester in such close proximity to the campus, although the campus itself is removed from the city. So it's not like navigating a major metropolitan area, but it is nice to have those resources so close by. Freshmen can have vehicles on campus in their first year and are welcome to continue having that all throughout their time with us. We have 5 schools that are housed within the university: the School of Arts and Science, the School of Business, the Wegman School of Pharmacy, the Wegman School of Nursing, and the Ralph Wilson School of Education. The Wegmans family, for those from New York, are definitely familiar with their vast grocery store empire. It's a family that is from Rochester and throughout the years has expanded a series of chain grocery stores that have expanded across a lot of the East Coast. And that money that they've made from that has been regenerated and brought back to the area that they were originally based from, and that included donating back to the university, which allowed us to fund and build these schools. That's where the Wegmans name comes from. And Ralph Wilson, former owner of the Buffalo Bills, after passing, his estate had left a part of his estate had left money and funds to be brought back into the university as well, which is where that name comes from. These are just a few of the opportunities that every student has, regardless of major, especially study abroad, with partnership programs in over 80 different countries around the world. Any student of any major is welcome to begin the discussion as early as their freshman year with their advisor about where it is that they would like to go and work and travel. If you've always had a desire to study or visit Europe or South America or Australia, we can start there and work our way from there. It's about a year-long process in order to make sure that everything is situated for your travel, extended stay, passport, and documentation is taken care of. We handle the housing and the transportation for you. It's part of your college experience. You're earning college credit, and you get to travel the world and just learn and ingratiate yourself in the culture. It's a really neat experience that's a lot easier to manage before you've left and started entering the workforce, where it would take a lot of extended time off of work to do travel like that, or time away from the family. It's much more difficult. So it's nice that you can take advantage of that while you're still a student and have it be part of your curriculum. Core in order of to offer a liberal arts experience, meaning that our students are leaving with a well-rounded education. We've made it so that our curriculum incorporates skills, valuable skills, across all different job fronts, across all different majors, across all different industries. So our students that are leaving or entering to study chemistry or biology are not just leaving with the knowledge that may come within that degree track. They are also experiencing classes and opportunities to expand their writing skills, their reading, public speaking, all with the intention of making a well-rounded education. Suppose that's my 6 minutes or so. Other than that, I'd just say inquire about scholarships if you can by visiting the website. And thank you very much for letting me speak.
Thank you so much, Jan, for sharing St. John Fisher University with us. And don't forget, attendees, to check that chat because a lot of our representatives are putting their contact info in there, so it makes it easier for following up after today. All right, our sixth school in the 6x6 is going to be Wake Forest University.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thanks to all of my colleagues on this panel. I'm happy to join and tell the folks at the Cristo Rey Network a little bit about Wake Forest in the little bit of time that we have. It's mostly just an introduction, and if you hear something tonight that you really enjoy or want to know more about, I hope you'll reach out to me or to any of my colleagues. I would like to tell you a little bit about Wake Forest. It is a place of connection. It's a place where students can, let me see if I can get this correct, sorry.
Yes, I was gonna say.
It's not.
We can
it's
see
not,
the screen share, it just didn't go big, so I wanted to give you a chance to.
I don't know. There we go.
There we go. Looks
okay,
great.
perfect. Okay, thank you very much for your patience with technology and me. But I am happy to tell you about Wake Forest. We are a medium-sized private liberal arts school in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. What that basically means is that the focus of the undergraduate experience is on the undergraduate's experience within the liberal arts curriculum. So everyone, no matter what they want to study at Wake Forest, whether it's arts or sciences, will take liberal arts classes in the first 2 years. That allows you to take classes that perhaps you've not had before. Certainly taking classes that you may not have had the time to take. But you might actually open up other subject areas that you might want to double major or maybe perhaps even major and double minor. So as I talk about Wake Forest, I really want to kind of stress that it is a place of community. It's a place of connection with lots of support. And some of that has to do with its size, of course. But in terms of academics, our classes are capped at around 20 to 22. All classes are taught by faculty members, and they like to teach all 4 years. So they're not just kind of cherry picking the 300 and the 400 level classes. So you'll have opportunities to get to know your professors well. Many of them have office hours in the local coffee shops, so students will linger a little bit longer and chat about other things besides upcoming papers and things of that sort. We do have a writing center, we have a math center, a science center, but your professor is your first line of support. The other things about Wake Forest in terms of the liberal arts approach is every student has at least one semester when they can study abroad. It's built into the liberal arts, so you have the opportunity to study in over 400 programs all over the world. Some of those are Wake Forest programs, some are through other institutions, but you get the opportunity to decide where it is that you want to be. If you've never had the chance to study away or abroad before, our Global Programs Office will help you with figuring out all the details, helping you get a passport. There are scholarships for travel. So we try to make it as easy as possible for everybody to take advantage of this opportunity. And secondly, in addition to study abroad, the opportunity to do research outside of class. So you're working hard in your classes, of course, but there's a chance to do research, undertake research projects with faculty mentors, things that may be on your mind, but things that will allow you to maybe even do some traveling and do research in archives in different cities and things of that sort as well. So that's a little bit about academics. I'd like to talk a little bit about the community. The Wake Forest community, because of its size, of course, is a very tight community, but also we have a 3-year residency requirement. So students live on campus for 3 years in community. There are lots of clubs and organizations to take part in. And also, I think at our core, in terms of what we stand for, is our motto, Pro Humanitate, for humanity. So that idea of service and being part of something bigger than yourself is just kind of built into clubs and organizational activities and such. We don't clock hours, they're not responsible for doing hours, but it's just part of what students are involved in. We are a founding member of the Atlantic Coast Conference, so there's lots of big games to attend. All the home games are part of, you can just swipe in your ID and go to any game. We have active and very competitive club sports that you can take part in as well. I'd like to say a word about financial aid. We are an institution that meets 100% of a family's demonstrated need. We are a test optional school. We became test optional in 2008. And this year, in addition to regular decision and early decision applications, we've actually added a third possibility, and it's a non-restrictive early action for first-generation college-bound students. So we hope you'll have an opportunity to take a closer look at Wake Forest, and please feel free to contact me if I can help in any way.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Susan, for sharing Wake Forest University. We have a few more minutes together tonight before we wrap up, which is a great opportunity for any last questions in the Q&A. To make sure that you can grab the contact information from the chat so you can follow up and learn even more. As many of our representatives have said, the 6 minutes is just an intro. It's an overview, just a sneak peek. And there is so much more each of these communities has to offer. And we hope you'll check these schools out after today. So as you can see, everyone's coming back on camera because we've got time for one live Q&A question together. And I'm really excited to hear from everyone. So after I pose the question, we'll start with the first school. So we'll start with our representative from Duke, and then we'll just go from person to person, 1 through 6, same order that you presented. And you can feel free to just turn on your microphone after the person ahead of you answers. I won't call on you. We'll just kind of flow person to person. All right, so you are the pros. You are the most knowledgeable and helpful guides and resources when it comes to the admissions process for students and their families. What is advice that you would give someone for the college search process? So what's one of those top tips that you think will help all of these students navigating this upcoming exciting adventure? Jessica?
Thank you. So yeah, I think first and foremost, my advice is to really think of the school in all its totality. Remember that you are not just going to be a student at the school, you're going to live there. And you're going to be there for 4 years, which may not sound like a long time, but it's actually a pretty good chunk of life. So really think about not only what kind of academics the school offers, the programs that are going to lead you to future jobs, but also the community and the opportunities in terms of residential life and the type of students of people who are on campus, because that's really at the end of the day going to be so much about what really shapes your experience.
Yeah, I would say my advice is to take advantage of the people that you can connect with, right? If you can't get to all the campuses that you're interested in visiting and that you're interested in applying to, take us up on our word of reaching out, right? You've got all of our contacts. Sometimes I'm not the person you want to talk to, and that's okay. I can pass you to who you do need to talk to. It might be a current student in a major you're interested in, an activity, a professor in a certain department. Feel free to utilize us as kind of your middleman for getting into contact with those programs that you're really interested in, that you want to learn more about, especially if it is true that you can't get to all those campuses in person, which is completely understandable. You all are looking far and wide.
Just to piggyback off of that, I always say choose a university that you ultimately, as they said, see yourself at for 4 years. At the end of the day, I always say you're signing a 4-year contract. Most students are not trying to come to a university and transfer out. So definitely choose something that you feel you are the best fit for.
And I would say when you're visiting when you get down to your final 2-3 schools and you start visiting those colleges and universities, don't just do the tour, but walk up to a student that is maybe hanging out on the quad or the library and ask them, what do they love about going to school here? And what don't they like about going to school there? I think that's always a good win too.
don't limit or dismiss yourself from opportunities that you think might be difficult to take on, which for some can be different factors. I think the biggest, broadest one is distance. Can you see yourself actually going away to school? Is that something you're ready to do after 18 years of just staying at home? Can you really feel comfortable doing that? Getting on campus to tour, that's a really great, excellent place to start. And if the other metrics, if you map it out and you see that cost aligns with your interests, if they have a really excellent program and what you want to study, that's great. But take a risk and be willing to put yourself out of your comfort zone in terms of something like distance from home.
And I would just ask a lot of questions. I mean, we get asked a lot of questions from A to Z, and make sure that your answers, the questions that you have get answered. And so, every school is not going to have the same answer, and ask that second and third question as well, so that you can kind of get a depth of understanding about a place before you have a chance to even visit, perhaps.
Those are all such great tips, and I hope that they help the students and families as they go forward. We are at the end of our time together. Thank you to all of our representatives for sharing not just facts and figures and some dates, but also giving some insight into the campus community, the opportunities in and out of the classroom. For everyone watching, whether live or on the recording, I hope that you have a couple more schools on your list, maybe 6 total, that you want to learn more about after today, as you've had a chance to learn. You have such great resources and support with the Cristo Rey Network, and we really hope you enjoyed tonight's event, and we're so glad you were with us. We definitely encourage you to check back on the schedule. There are additional programming coming up for the Cristo Rey Network this upcoming Saturday. There's another date and event, so check that out to sign up for more. And don't forget, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at that same website in the coming days, strivescan.com/Cristo-Rey. Thanks again, everyone, and to our students, best of luck. You have an incredible adventure ahead. Everyone have a wonderful fall. Good night.